Most people trying to break into cybersecurity are learning a bunch of random information. That's why they never get hired. They spend months collecting certifications, watching YouTube videos, jumping from topic to another, without ever building skills that employers are actually looking for. The reality is that cybersecurity isn't just one job. Cybersecurity is an entire domain with dozens of different specialties. And most people never take the time to actually figure out where they fit. So in this video, I'm going to break down the core 3 things that I will focus on to break into cybersecurity in 2026. And if you apply these 3 things consistently, you're already going to be ahead of most of your competition. Let's get into it. The first thing I would do is to pick a niche. And this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see beginners make. Most people say they want to get into cybersecurity, but when I ask them what area of cybersecurity they want to work in, they have no idea. And that's a problem because cybersecurity is extremely broad. You have identity access management, also known as IM, aka that's what I do. You have GRC, which focuses on governance, risk, and compliance. You have incident response, you have cloud security, you have vulnerability management, you have security operations, and you have dozens of different other specialties that I don't want to name them all out right now. The mistake that most people make is trying to learn a little bit of everything. So instead, I would encourage you to figure out what area actually interests you and then go deep inside that specific area. There's power in specialization, or in other words, what I like to say, there's power in the niche. Once you identify that niche, you can start building those skills that are directly aligned with the job requirements. One of the easiest ways to do this is by simply researching the job descriptions for the role that you want to work in, and then using tools like ChatGPT or Claude. And then from there, just ask it questions. What does a cloud security engineer do every day? Can you quiz me to make sure that this fits and aligns with my personality and my current skills? Or even get even more specific. What cybersecurity role fits well with my strong communication skills? Everyone has transferable skills, so just figure out what they are to help you pick your niche. The goal is to actually identify where you fit and then focus those efforts. Because when you stop learning a bunch of random information, you start developing real skills for a specific role, and then you become significantly more employable. And honestly, that's what matters. Not collecting random information, not collecting certifications, but building real skills that solve real business problems. So the second thing I would focus on once you've identified your niche is to build a strong, compelling resume and also a strong LinkedIn profile. These 2 things are honestly a non-negotiable. Your resume is actually what gets you into the interview, and your LinkedIn profile is essentially your public resume. The 2 coincide together, they work together. One thing that most people don't realize is that companies use applicant tracking systems, also known as ATS systems. This is used to filter out resumes before a recruiter actually sees them. So if your resume doesn't contain the relevant skills or keywords, it may never make it to the hiring manager. This is why tailoring your resume is very important. You should be optimizing your resume for specific roles that you're targeting. So if you're targeting identity roles, your resume should highlight those identity skills. If you're pursuing GRC roles, you should probably highlight that resume with GRC skills. The same applies to every other niche like cloud security, incident response, and the various different ones that are out there. And again, ChatGPT can help you with this. It's never been any easier. You can use this to identify common keywords, improve bullet points, and better align your experience with job descriptions. Now, let's talk about LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn profile should actually reinforce everything that's on your resume. Your skills, projects, certifications, and experience should all tell the story, because truth is, recruiters are looking at both. And if you would like additional help optimizing your resume or LinkedIn profile, I actually have a free roadmap and also a free Discord community that I have linked below, and feel free to connect with myself and also other professionals in the Discord community as well. Now, the third thing I would focus on is the interview process. At this point, you've chosen your niche, you've built out your resume, and you've also optimized your LinkedIn profile. Now, honestly, it's just about proving that you can do the job. And I would like to preference that one of the biggest misconceptions is that people think that certifications alone get people hired. And truth be told, they simply don't. The great thing about certifications is that it helps open the door. But once you're in the interview, employers want to know one thing: can you do the job? That's it. They want to understand your skills, your thought process, and how you approach problems. This is why projects and labs are so important. If you've built the projects, you've done the labs, you now have real experience you can discuss during those interviews. You can explain what you've built, what problems did you encounter, and how did you solve them. Those exact experiences become incredibly valuable during technical and scenario-based interviews. But there's actually another piece that most people overlook. This would be your personality. Your personality matters. It just does. Nobody wants to hire somebody that they wouldn't enjoy working with. Companies are looking for people who can contribute technically, but also somebody who can be a positive addition to the team. So yes, develop the technical skills, but also work on the communication aspect, being professional, being personable, and also showing curiosity. And also, one of the greatest things you can do is showcase your willingness to learn throughout the interview. I can't tell you enough times that I've been in interviews and I've explained my labs and projects that I've been a part of, and simply explaining that I've learned so much throughout that process. Hiring managers love this. It showcases that if they were to hire you, you would go the extra mile to learn. Some of my best interviews that I've ever had started with technical questions and then eventually turned into a conversation. And that's usually a pretty good sign, because once they know you can do the job, they just want to know if they can work with you. So if I had to break into cybersecurity in 2026, these are definitely the top 3 things I would focus on. Number 1, pick a niche. Number 2, build a strong resume and a LinkedIn profile. And last but not least, number 3 would definitely be to develop real skills and learn how to communicate them during interviews. If you focus on those areas consistently, you'll definitely be ahead of all of your competition, because most people simply don't apply those 3 things. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure to subscribe. And if you'd like access to my free cybersecurity roadmap in my Discord community, you can find both of those links directly below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.